podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Sky's the limit, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me. So, talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game can see the Boxing Voice.
Good afternoon or evening, TBV. What's going on? We're back with another one. It's a spontaneous Jose Ramirez taking on Viktor Postol. It's his mandatory, and it took a little longer than expected, but the WBC and the WBO super lightweight world champion Jose Ramirez, coming off of his unification bout with Maurice Hooker, will return and is set to come back and defend both his titles against mandatory challenger and former champion himself for the WBC when he defeated Lucas Matisse. We're talking Viktor the Iceman Postol, common opponent with Lucas Matisse, common opponent with Selçuk Ada, and common opponent with Terrence Crawford. This fight's going to be taking place in May 9th at the Save Mart Center in Fresno. Save Mart is a location that Jose Ramirez fills up. I mean, to the rafters, 10,000 easy. Now he's taking 2 belts and a former champion that way. I'm expecting a sold-out crowd. On the co-main event, you have Jose, the sniper Pedraza, and he's going to be getting back in the ring versus Javier, el Intocable Molina. So Molina is an Olympian from 2008. He has the pedigree. His brother's name is Carlos. This seems like a good co-main event. Now, remember, this was supposed to happen in China, but due to the coronavirus, it's been rescheduled and will no longer be taken out in, China. Freddie Roach and Viktor Postol were already in China, so they had to come back. So they were getting real ready for Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is trained by Robert Garcia. So those are just a little bit of the details. I'm going to go ahead and get out to my co-host, Mario Munguia, in Corpus Christi, and get this thing started.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, Ness, you said it all. 5th title defense Ramirez is scheduled to make.
Definitely not the 5th. This is the first. Well, yeah. I mean, if you don't consider the unification.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
You consider the unification one?
One of his titles, the unification titles, yes, first. Okay, but the point I was making is that, we're getting this back on the road. We should have taken care of this in February, and I'm glad that it's coming. I mean, Viktor Postol is not to be underestimated. This is a tough opponent. This is something that him and Robert are going to have to be ready for. At the same time, though, Ramirez has so many big things ahead of him. This kid, he has a great character. He draws really well. He's got a good face. He speaks very well. Like, he's a total package, and they're talking about him and Crawford. I mean, this is one of those things that Top Rank does sometimes. Top Rank has Bud at 147, and the criticism has been, get him a fight. Thurman, Garcia, all the guys on the other side of PBC. And what does Bob do? He goes and he creates, a 147 guy that we're all going to be buzzing about and talking about. And that's what this is. This is obviously taking place at 140, but the point is that Ramirez has the sky as his, ceiling. It's just unbelievable how much unlimited potential he has to draw. He's going to physically get bigger. He's going to grow into 147. He won't be an undersized 147 guy. And I don't know. I mean, I just can't see a blank spot in him. Is he good enough to beat Bud? Is he good enough to be at the 147 top dogs? I don't know, and that time will come. But I'm telling you right now, this is the best fight out there for Crawford that's realistic. And so he's got to take care of business.
I wouldn't
here.
say that much because he's got to beat Postol, then beat Josh Taylor to emerge as the best opponent for Crawford on that side of the street anyway, because ultimately he'll still be a 140-pounder moving up. And, the knock on Crawford is that we want him to fight a real welterweight. This doesn't solve that problem in any way. If anything, it just adds to it. Now, if Jose can starch Postol and decisively beat Josh Taylor, now we have a commodity on our hands, because he's been able to transition and prove people wrong. He started off early on with wins over Mike Reed, and it transitioned into a big unification match with Maurice Hooker. Along the way, he's had decent wins. Amir Iman, Mike Reed, Jose Cepeda, which some thought maybe, he probably lost or it was tight. I remember specifically Regis Prograis on our show telling us, look, I thought he lost that fight. So Jose, like I said, he can really raise his profile with two decent performances. I mean, life can change. Life can change. It was 1,000 fight fans that buy tickets for Ramirez. His resume started to get better after the Mike Reed win, which was an undefeated win. Then he beat Amir Iman, who only had one loss. Then he went back and defeated the undefeated Antonio Orozco. Then he went back and fought and defeated Jose Cepeda, who only had one loss. Then he went back and beat the undefeated Maurice Hooker for a title to unify the division. I think at this point,
look, you said it.
It's just time to. I think at this point, it's time to think of this guy as a real player.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, that's all I was saying is that he's on that road. I'm not saying it happens after Postol. Certainly doesn't happen before, but he's just got so much going for him. He's got so much talent. He's got so much ability. He came out of the 2012 Olympic class, and I never thought he was one of the better fighters in that class. I mean, I thought he was pretty good, but I didn't think he'd be as, I guess, marketable as he seems he is. He always seems real quiet, and but he was young, so that was probably me not understanding the amateurs back then as well, or still. And so he's emerged out of that class, and he's got a great resume. He's got a great reputation in the sport. His amateur, it's all there. Everything that you want to bill a fighter as, he's that guy. And I disagree with the Josh Taylor. Like, you might be right in terms of the tougher fight, you might be terms of the better fight, but in terms of promotable, no, it's Jose Ramirez. That's the guy. That's going to be the guy.
Yeah, man. Interesting to see which direction they go after this Postol fight. Obviously, it's going to be based on his performance. But if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, as it helps with the visibility of the show. It lets us know that you enjoy Jose Ramirez talk. Not looking like any Mexican-American supporting the two-belt champion, WBO, WBC champion. Going to be taking on a former champion in his mandatory. And I wanted to add, just for facts and to make it juicy, this is Al Heyman and PBC working together. This is a co-promoted broadcast, a co-promoted event with Top Rank and TGB Promotions. TGB Promotions obviously is Goosen Promotions. They do a lot of business with my good friend Al Heyman. So just another, I guess, sign, another fight showing us that Al and Bob do business together. And especially when it's not, they're high-level marquee fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. I was surprised to see some of this stuff too, that how much people think Postol's going to easily win. I don't know. I think Ramirez that's his fight to lose. But it's a great card all around. And I like the co-feature. It's a lot to be excited about with this card, but I think that Jose Ramirez is his stock's on the rise. I think that, in a couple years time, he could be as marketable, if not more marketable than any of the top guys at 147. Maybe not Mikey, but, a bigger draw than Earl, bigger draw than Thurman ever was, like a bigger draw than all these guys. He might not have the pedigree that they have, and he certainly doesn't have the chops at 147 yet. So I guess I'll pump my brakes a little bit. I should probably ease that talk a little bit. My bad. But I just think he has the potential is what I should say, and that's definitely something that anyone can see, whether he's bigger than these guys' draws. That's not the question.
Definitely. I mean, look, like I said, if he could have a perfect year and defeat Postol and Josh Taylor, he will raise his marketability tremendously. If he can beat Josh Taylor and become undisputed, do what Crawford did in the division that Crawford did it, and then move up, being in-house, challenge Crawford, it will be a big pay-per-view for Crawford, bigger than the last two that he's done. He had a failing, unsuccessful pay-per-view with Viktor Postol, the man in question, who Ramirez will be facing, and more than likely selling out 10 to 15,000 in the Save Mart Center. And then, Crawford did a pay-per-view with Amir Khan. I think Jose Ramirez is the right dance partner. Obviously, he must get those wins.
Do you think it's important for Ramirez to look better against Postol than Crawford, or do you think that that's really, it doesn't matter right now? They're so far apart right now that it doesn't really matter.
Who's far apart?
Okay, what I'm asking is, a lot of times we get common opponents, fighters that we want to see. Oh, Earl fought this guy and Terrence fought this guy. But do you think it's important for Jose Ramirez to do what to Postol better or as good as what Crawford was able to do?
Super important. It's a guy that your promoter has been pitting you against for about a year now. He's been dropping, the little breadcrumbs, letting us know that both Ramirez and Josh Taylor could be possible opponents for, Terrence Crawford. And he also said that he would make, it was three people, Josh Taylor, Ramirez, and Regis Prograis. He was interested in a possible fight with Terrence Crawford. So, yeah, look, we need fights. These are fighters. Are they real welterweights? No. But, look, PBC's doing their own thing. If Bob Arum can create two welterweights out of Josh Taylor and Ramirez and then another one in Prograis, I'm not mad. Prograis is going to be taking on Hooker. Maybe in a welterweight fight. I don't know. Did they say Hooker's going back down to 140? I know his last fight was 140 and some change. He was transitioning to welterweight. I know that Prograis's last fight was at 140. I haven't noticed if this official fight between the two is going to be at, welterweight or junior welterweight. Do you know? I'm Googling it.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually Googling it now just to double check what they have it down as.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you said it all. You really did. I mean, this is how you create stars, and unfortunately, as talented as this division is, junior welterweight, it is not where they're going to get the most money. These guys are going to have to move up. And you talk about like what a real welterweight is. You say, well, they're not real welterweights, but at the same, and I know what you meant by that. Like, they are where they are right now. But you would always seen it in Jose Ramirez that he had that size. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to grow and he's going to fill out. You could just see it in him, in his neck, in his chin, shoulders. You can just see he's going to fill out and he's going to carry that weight well. So that's why I talk about him a little bit more than some of the other guys in terms of marketability, because I've just seen what gets butts in seats, and he's just got this dynamic to him that people seem to gravitate towards.
So Hooker's last fight was at 144 1/4. Now the official press release from Matchroom Boxing does not state whether it's a welterweight fight or a junior welterweight fight, but he is fighting Prograis. Prograis is listed as the favorite on the poster. And again, no mention. It's going to be April 17th live on DAZN, and it will be in the MGM Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Neither of these two men are from Maryland, but we'll see how that works out. That's been a location that, Eddie's been frequenting since he started promoting here in America, and we'll see. But, if Bob and Eddie can pit these 4 guys, 6 guys against each other, and like I said, pull away with a decent welterweight, I'm not mad. Any of these men that run through 2 or 3 of these guys, I think they deserve a welterweight shot. You know what I mean? If you can beat, for Ramirez, if you can beat Hooker, which you did, Postol, Josh Taylor, you deserve it. If it's Hooker and you can beat Prograis winner Josh Taylor Ramirez rematch, you're good. But Hooker is trained by Bomac, or at least, worked out there. So that won't be happening in terms of a welterweight fight with Crawford. Now, if Ramirez is successful, I'm sure that rematch kind of sells itself.
Yeah, absolutely. It does sell itself, and I don't know. I'm trying to look at the scheduling the way they have it. I mean, all these guys could foreseeably fight pretty quickly. I mean, this could get done. We could be a year from now talking about Ramirez or whoever ends up going through this gauntlet. We could talk about these guys being a force at 147, and these guys moving up and getting that Usyk treatment where they go climb to the top of the ladder right away. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like when guys are highly ranked or champions at one division and then move up and get that same treatment. But that's just the name of the game. It's the nature of the business. And when you have a guy like Ramirez who's capable of becoming a major pay-per-view star, you got to rush him a little bit. It's just, might not be the best thing for him as a fighter, but it's definitely one of the best things that can happen financially. And some might say that Mikey's going through that same kind of phase too.
Yeah, no, man. Look, there's not much we can say. Ramirez has to do to become that guy. He's been beating some fringe contenders, and he beat his first world champion. He's got our attention. The unification got our attention. The thousands and thousands of tickets in the Save Mart Center, it's gotten our attention. But it's time to perform. It's time to prove that you can be a welterweight. A junior welterweight is one thing. Are you big enough? Are you strong enough to be a welterweight is the question. Are you big enough and strong enough to compete with Crawford? Can we watch you and accept you as an opponent for Crawford? I think that's what we're all waiting for.
Yeah, and here's the thing, you're right. You have to get acclimated to a certain division, right? You can't just go to 140 to 147 and just roll. It takes time to get acclimated. It takes time to learn how to take punches from a bigger guy in a 12-round fight or 10-round fight or whatever. But here's the thing, okay? If you kind of look at the, I guess, overall landscape of what they have and how they can build particular fighters, you could try to, I guess, play devil's advocate. Ness, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I had head down. Sorry. I see it. So it's got to be Mario suffering some side of, because I heard him clearly. I was just typing here in the chat to my good friend Wayne.
I don't know what that was. Am I on
I
there?
know. I heard you clearly. You said, "Am I there?" And then you just hung up.
It just dropped off for me. I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was just letting them know that I heard you clearly. So. But yeah, man, I mean, look, not much to say. It's just a report show. Jose Ramirez's fight is official. He's going to be facing Viktor Postol Saturday 9th, Save Mart Center in Fresno, California. Let me see. I think the tickets are priced fairly well as well, which they always are in the Save Mart Center there for Viktor. It's looking like ticket prices are starting at $206 is your most expensive ringside seat. Then you got $131, $96, $66, and $31. So no $10 seats, no $25 seats. And this kid is definitely doing $10,000 to $15,000 easily.
Yeah, no, those are really very well priced numbers. I remember where I was going with that. Let me just real quick make this point before I forget again. You can make your chops in divisions that'll help you for like upper division. Like look, if you look at the Bradley, Khan, Alexander, man, I'm forgetting who else was there at the time. If you look at that junior welterweight division, right, a lot of those guys moved up to 147 almost, I wouldn't say flawlessly, but they moved up and they were able to, maintain the weight. They were able to keep their momentum is I guess what I'm trying to say. There weren't big transitions for them, and it's because they had these tough fights against each other at that division.
Definitely agreed, man. Look, this is just the natural process.
Because
I lost you again. This is a fun show. I was just saying this is the natural process for these guys moving up. They gotta prove their mettle. They gotta prove their mettle.
And we've seen that happen where divisions are really compact or really dense. You know what I mean? And they're able to like make their bones and get a lot of experience that helps them with all facets of the game, but specifically when they move up and take on bigger, better competition.
Definitely, man. Definitely. But yeah, man, I guess we'll wrap it up. No sense in regurgitating the same information. We've definitely announced the announcement of the Unified Super Lightweight World Championship, WBC, WBO on the line. Jose Ramirez versus Viktor Postol, Saturday 9th. To wait.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Going out to Seattle, Washington.
Mr. PBC, baby.
BoxingWords.com. I'm the finest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit up. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Yo.
What up?
Ness and Mario. No mic. Yeah, it's a cool fight. I wish I can come to this event. That would be so beautiful. The ticket prices are cool. But it is what it is. Can't wait to see these fights.
It's a cool fight. I wish I could come to.
Huh?
Yeah, that was Matabula jumped on with his speaker hot.
Oh, okay. And so Mike is done with the show?
He's done with the show, champ. He's done with the show, man. He said, he needs more money, and if he can't get that, he's got to seek other job opportunities out there, brother.
All right. Well, TBV for life, and let's keep on. Yes, keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. We'll get to that point, man. We got some things cooking, and this is our year. And hopefully we won't have to continue to suffer this. We'll get that either sponsorship, endorsement like most of the other big channels. And, things will work out. When the money is right, I'm sure we could get them. I'm sure we could get them back. It's like I've always told you guys, though, if we don't have that Patreon at 100%, it's going to be easy to lose people. I told you guys daily, I asked you to hit the thumbs up. I asked you to sign up to Patreon just so we won't suffer that. But this is part of that, brother. This is part of that. Let's go out to New Orleans. JT, what it do?
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. We're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'll kill this mother. Why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, what's up, Ness? What's up, Mario?
What up?
Hey, I'm gonna call you probably one on one, Ness, and talk about that Patreon because I know you just said something about it, and I feel bad that Mike left, but I mean, people gotta do what they gotta do. But I hate for him to leave when it get good, and then now he gotta come back because it's good. Like any business, some people draw down before it really get real good. But what y'all was talking about on the call though?
Jose Ramirez is going to be defending his WBO and his WBC title versus his mandatory challenger, TG be promoted. Al Heyman advised Viktor Postol. And it's going to be happening Saturday, May 9th at the Save Mart Center, where Ramirez usually draws about 10 to 15,000.
Who you got in that fight, though, Neff?
Nah, definitely Ramirez, man. I haven't thought highly of Postol in a long time.
Okay, yeah. I'm a roll with Ramirez. That's when they beat Hooker, huh? Just beat Maurice Hooker?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. I'm rolling with. Damn, Mario, you said. I ain't like how you say yes, sir. But I'm just messing. But yeah. It's all good, though. Yeah, I got Ramirez in that fight and stuff. So, anything else y'all was talking about?
That's it, brother.
Yeah, well, that's all my call. That's all I got. Shout out to TVV though. Hope Mike come back to the show.
For sure, man. Listen, if we get that Patreon right, we can give him a pay increase because obviously, that's what he wanted. At the moment, we can't afford it, but hey, if we get to our 100% goal, we can definitely do that, and I would love to have him back. He put in the time, and it's like JT said, we're on the brink of really coming into something good, and it sucks that he would be on the outside of that after all the work that he put in. We're going out to Matabula. Talk to me.
Guys, how you doing?
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I really appreciate that work that you guys put in, just for the boxing world and everything. I mean, there's no other YouTube channel that you find is putting in as much work as you guys. So, when I see something like a co-host has to leave because of, money problems, I mean, it's I just kind of feel bad because I mean, you guys are really like putting the work, and you're always having guests over, you're always, bringing the breaking news, chopping up everything. So I just pray that you guys, you can get to doing very good numbers, get the 100% Patreon, and we'll continue supporting you. And as for Mike, he was a very good co-host, and it's just sad that he has to leave, man. What do you think that can help really improve like the numbers of the show and everything? Because whether we like may disagree on certain topics about Wilder, Joshua, and whatever, it's still good for the boxing world, So, do you feel like maybe you need to get out more there, do more interviews? Like, what do you feel is right?
You said what? I'm sorry. I was reading some of these super chats. A lot of people asking questions.
Honestly, I'll answer. It's honestly just the visibility. I promise you, the more thumbs up, the more shares.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean,
the
algorithm right there.
The more we grow, the better numbers we do, the more revenue we'll be able to generate, or the more we grow, we'll be able to get the attention of a sponsor. But Patreon literally is the best option because we're relying on our listeners who listen to the show every day. Look, I don't like to harp on it, but it is kind of sad, right? We got hundreds of thousands of people. Like, we literally do over 1 million views every month. So it's like, I don't know, it's either the same million or millions listening. And honestly, if 10% signed up out of that million to buy us a cup of coffee, we wouldn't be having this situation. So, it would be perfect if, this situation drove people to help get the show where it needs to be so that we could get Mike back before he's locked into something else, because who knows where he's going to end up. And, who's going to end up paying him, and will he be able to get out of that once once we're ready financially. So, we gotta act fast is definitely what we need to be doing. But I'm gonna head out to California. Alumni, he's watched them come, he's watched them go, but it ain't no show without
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo, what up, Ness? What up, Mario?
What up, champ? What's going on?
Hey, man. First off, man, I like the fight, Postol and Ramirez. People will be watching this fight to get a gauge where Ramirez at and compare him to Crawford. I think he will wipe the floor with Postol, though. So I can make an early pick on that and stand on it. But as far as Mike, man, if you're listening, brother, man, wish we can have you back, man. The show must go on, and I understand your predicament, but at the same time, y'all hit those thumbs up, join Patreon. This is the voice of the people. Where can you get this type of content at? Where can you get these interviews every morning, 7 days a week? Call in and voice your opinion about, and you don't have to agree with me or Ness or anybody on the whole show. It's no other show doing that at this level. I can't understand sometimes when we have a high volume of listeners and the damn thumbs can't be up, man. Y'all come here every day and don't even hit the damn thumbs up. It's like you love it, but you hate it. It's like confused. Sometimes hate is confused admiration, man. But you here for a reason, for some reason, because you're here every day listening to these brothers, man. I appreciate your work, Ness. Hopefully the ideas that we came up off air that Rod and Stainless and everybody had, that you will implement them and we can get some more revenue so we can get Mike back. But I appreciate the work, man. Y'all hit those thumbs up, man. Peace, my brothers.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Listen, man. Mike need to do what he got to do. He's got a daughter, and we just got to keep working, man, and we'll be able to get him back as long as, like I said, he's not tied into something. Because remember, Mike went to school. He might end up in some sort of business job, and then he's won't be able to come on as frequently. But we'll keep working. Like Info Joe said, the show must go on. We'll keep scheduling people. Matter of fact, let me go through the schedule before I get to the next set of guests, or rather, next set of callers. If you haven't caught our interview this morning with John Bauza from Puerto Rico, he's going to be on that March 14th card in Madison Square Garden with Edgar Balanga.
Saturday.
Yes, sir. Then we also spoke to Justin Deloach that surprised me by saying that he moved down to 147 pounds, just like Austin Trout from 154. Now, this is a guy that's gone 10 rounds. This is a guy that's gone 10 rounds decision with Jason Rosario, who just knocked out, Julian Williams. This is also a guy that was in the ring with Nathaniel Gallimore, the only guy to stop Jason Rosario and beat Jason Rosario. So he's been in the ring. He was sparring Jamal Charlo for this fight. So we had Deloach. Check out that interview. Looks like tomorrow we'll have Kevin Cunningham, world-renowned trainer of Erickson Lubin, Devin Alexander, Corey Spinks, so many. And we'll also have Jermaine Franklin, American heavyweight, on the show tomorrow, Wednesday morning. Thursday morning, we'll have Albert Bell, and we'll have Javier Caputillo trained fighter Fabio Rodriguez, and then we'll have American heavyweight Dakari Scott. That's all tomorrow morning. Jam-packed Thursday. I'm talking 9:30, 10 a.m., and 10:30 a.m. And then in the evening, we'll have another heavyweight from Italy, Guido Villanello. And then we'll have welterweight Aaron McKenna and his brother Stevie McKenna. Friday, we'll have Raymond Savage Ford, signed to Matchroom and DAZN. And we'll also have Cassius Chaney, heavyweight. Cassius Chaney, American heavyweight, trained by Calvin Ford, the trainer of Gervonta Davis, Truck Simpson, Malik Hawkins. The list goes on and on. Speaking of Calvin Ford, we're going to be having Calvin Ford on as well. He's already said, yeah, we're just waiting for the right day, so it's not on the schedule. Don't get scared, Mario, but we'll be having Calvin Ford and Coach Kenny because they work together with all those fighters out of that gym. So we'll be having them on as well. But Friday, we got Raymond Savage Ford, Matchroom Boxer, also Cassius Chaney. And then we've already started scheduling for next week. On Monday morning, we have James Wilkins, Crunch Time, signed to Golden Boy Promotions. And I'm working on some other things. I got Tyrone Sponge. We're finally talking. He even was a great guy and apologized and said that he knows that I've been trying to get him for some time now. So let's get it done. I tried to get him on tomorrow. 9:30 and 10 a.m. is too early for some. He said a little bit later he'll be done with his training session. If we're still on, maybe we could squeeze him in at 10:30. Then we got this new kid. I'm scheduling him. What did I tell him? I said Monday the 16th, let's do it. So I got to put him in the calendar, actually. His name is Canelo Acosta. Canelo Acosta. He's 1-0, declarated amateur. And, yeah, man, we're going to get him on the show on Monday as well. And I told him, 10 a.m. Shit. Why do I always double book people? Let me see. I told James. Oh, good. I told James 9:30. So, yeah, Canelo Acosta. And Acosta, he's been helping Raymond Savage get ready. You know, they know each other from the amateurs and stuff. So we'll be having Canelo Acosta on at 10 a.m. on Monday morning. Let's see. I think we have a few more already lined up. And we definitely got a lot of other things cooking. But you know the motto for 2020. We're going to get at least 2 interviews a day. Let me see if I got anything set for Tuesday. No. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got Little G. I got to put that in the calendar. Let me see. Got the confirmation just came through. Got Little G, a.k.a. Gabriel Flores Jr., Thursday at 7:30 p.m. And that's Thursday, March 19th. We got Gabriel Flores Jr., and that's going to be at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. Now, on that same day, we'll have Thomas Delorme, who is going to be taking on, he'll be fighting, Thomas Delorme is going to be fighting Jamal James, and we'll have him on the show as well. Thomas Delorme on Thursday the 19th. Now,
and he fights on the 11th of April, so against Jamal James in Minneapolis.
Now, all these interviews, their respected acts, Gabriel Flores, acts, who did we just say is fighting Jamal James? Jesus, what a brain lock.
Thomas Delorme.
Ask Thomas Delorme, ask whatever fighter we're interviewing. You can find that respected post on patreon.com/The Boxing Voice. That's one way to support the channel by signing up to Patreon. It ensures that we have a monthly income from our listeners, that it ensure that Mario stays and we get Mike back. B, by signing up to Patreon, not only do you support your favorite show, but you also get to ask everybody that we've spoken to or that we interview a question. So yes, head on over to patreon.com/The Boxing Voice and ask everybody a question. There's a lot of posts. Let me just go and refresh that actually and tell you how many people we already got posted there so you can get some questions off. But yeah, man, that's the schedule, and it looks like we got Marlon So Icy Sims. Let me see. It is Tuesday, Marlon. What do you got? 4 days to go? How you feeling, brother?
Oh yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. I'm finna go pull up to the gym shortly. I got just some light work. What I'm about to do on some mitts and whatnot. Nothing too major.
Bruh, man, you know you're one of the only guys I know can feel so, I guess, like sound so, I guess, energetic and outgoing on fight week, bro. It sounds like you're not, making weight.
Nah. The weight be coming. The weight be coming easy. I just got a lot of energy. Like I said, I'm picking a weight that I don't feel like I'm straining myself to get to either. So I just feel like that's what I always go back to, man. I feel like I'm making weight smart because, like I said, other people I've spoken to, and they say, man, when they gotta do the weight cut, that's when they fall out of love with the sport. So I just make sure I do it right, do it good, feel healthy, feel strong. So yeah, I feel good, man. It's going down, man. I'm super pumped up. It's fight week, man. We 2 more days to weigh in, but I'm finna go in on some food weigh in day. I'm trying to tell you.
Definitely, brother, man. You know we're going to be tuned in, wishing you the best, man. Let everybody know where they can follow you at, man. This is Marlon So Icy Sims, pro boxer. He's going to be fighting Saturday on that Showbox card, so don't forget to tune in, and hopefully we can catch him on some highlights. Marlon?
Yo, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I cut out for a second. Okay, but yeah, man, I appreciate it, and like Ness been saying and everybody else been saying, man, make sure that y'all go ahead and support it, man. It don't cost y'all nothing to hit a thumbs up on the video, man. You're already watching day in and day out, so make sure, man, y'all support. It don't cost you anything, but you can also follow me at Marlon So Icy on Instagram, Marlon So Icy Sims on Facebook, and I'll be doing a live stream of my fight as well on these platforms. So make sure you can go ahead and check it out, and you can watch the fight live. So I appreciate it, and much love to the Boxing Voice.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. So Icy Sims. Looks like we got to everybody, man. This has just been another report show. Top Rank putting out another fight. Unification, title defense, mandatory defense. Top Rank, Al Heyman still doing business right before our eyes, even though they say that it's a Cold War. Nest GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you will get notification every time we do go live. Mario, you want to give out your social? Media, not the number.
It had a lot. It was like lagging. At Mario McGee on Twitter, at Mario McGee on Instagram. Catch us every morning, and yeah, man, just hit them thumbs up, and everything will be gravy. Shout out to Mike. Hopefully, I could talk to him in a few days, and get a gauge of what's up. And at the same time, though, wish him the best no matter what, whether he's TBV now or for life, whatever. All good. Peace.
Do say.